the strings.
Welcome back to the channel. And in the last video of us messing with the Civic, we modified our $400 turbo manifold to fit our $3,000 turbo. Got the little kind of mock-up of the hood exit done. So today we need to weld the wastegate to the exhaust housing. I think it's going to go about right here. And then we need to finish welding this little up pipe and then actually add a O2 sensor bung to it. And then one of the other things I would like to do is actually add a brace to the turbine housing, just so it actually supports the weight of the turbo without putting all that stress on that manifold, since it's all basically just kind of leaning way over. And then the other thing is I want to install this scatter shield and do that type of stuff. But yeah, today was actually the first time I've drove the Supra in like probably 2 freaking weeks, because I lost the key, but Jamie found it. Did you find the key for me?
In the laundry.
It was in my pocket and it was in the laundry. But look at this. Freaking drive your Supra to work today. It's been a while. We have successfully ruined how many bits now? 1, 2, 3, 4 bits trying to drill through this exhaust housing right here. So since this is Garrett's newer housings, even like the Gen 2 one that was on here before, that is actually stainless steel. But this one is literally like, it seems like it's about 1/2 inch thick. It's crazy thick, especially right there on that little rib, because I drilled a hole in there previously just to get that thing, but busted off that little tip because we were kind of rocking it back and forth. And so this Milwaukee was actually the only one that actually made it through to about right here. And then we got these 2 ones, which these are bimetal from a local shop, and they literally like weren't doing anything. Same thing with this. This is a DeWalt. It wasn't doing anything. So we found a bit that is local. It is a carbide steel, the steel tips or whatever, or the carbide tipped blade hole saw. There's one local, but it's $130. So Ty's actually on his way to go get that thing right now, and then we should be able to finish cutting this thing off. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish welding this flange right here that goes to the turbo. I went ahead and welded this, and then got the O2 bung on it yesterday too. And then that's all welded right there, so just need to weld that. I guess in the comments Ty was telling me about, I didn't read it, but some guy was really mad at me because he thought that I just had the wastegate hole open this whole time. So if you guys look right here, that is it's basically a little, it's kind of like a little puck, and it replicates a tile 44 mil wastegate, and you just put the little V-band stuff on it, and then you don't have to worry about anything. So the wastegate has been closed this whole time. It wouldn't have made a difference anyhow, because it wasn't controlling the boost, and that's why we're actually doing this. But yeah, I'm gonna throw that up on the bench and start welding, because we have lots of freaking things to do, because I think I got confirmation that we got a slot in race week, and we're gonna be doing some stuff for about a week, so we got a lot of things on the plate. Hi guys. Oh wow. I can't even tell you how mad / excited I am to have this stupid hole in this turbine housing. So the hole was not supposed to be this big, so you can see right here how big that thing is and how it sits around, just because of all the wobbling we did, everything else that we did to try and get this freaking hole done. It got bigger. So now look at this. So now the wastegate literally just sits right in there, which is not what I would need, because I need it to sit up actually a little bit, like right here, so that you could actually get the V-band flange around it. So not super stoked about that. It's not going to be a lot of fun to weld this gap going around here. I could get her done, but it's definitely not going to be fun. So I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. We ruined the $150 bit. It was 130 bucks and 150 after tax because we got it locally. But I think we're running it a little bit too fast. But I mean, it made it through it. I absolutely did not want to do this. I wish, you know, a lot of people in the last video said that we should have actually welded another wastegate like on the top. And you know, honestly, maybe that would have worked if we would have just cut this one off on the bottom and then actually put it like up top, kind of facing this way. That might have worked, and it would probably save me just a ton of time. But again, this is something that works. I knew it worked, and so we just decided to do this. I did not think that this manifold was going to be that thick. I think that's like 15 mil thick, so super thick, heavy duty stuff. So and it is like a stainless steel too, so super hard. It's really tough on blades and everything else. So I'm just glad that we made it through it finally. Basically ended up, we kind of got like a half moon down right here, and then we ended up using the Dremel with these little bits on it, since we kind of made the channel so wide, and we basically went around it a couple times and kind of got it so it was kind of, you know, down a little bit, and then you could see that jagged edge. We basically just whacked it with the hammer and finally made it through. So that is a that's a serious piece of metal right there. So crazy. I would have never thought this thing would have been that thick. You know, I don't know, nothing to do but try to freaking weld it now, fill that gap. All right, so it is finally on there. Actually, that wasn't too bad. I just used a lot thicker of a actual piece of the welding freaking rod, the stainless stuff. So I actually used a thicker piece and just kind of rested it in there and got like a good little tack, and then just kind of sit there and, you know, I welded it is what I did, and it worked. I just thought it would be a little bit worse with that big of a gap, but I think since everything is really thick, and I was using that thick wire, I was able to use kind of more heat and then just kind of dab it in when it needed it, and then it was fine. So we're gonna let this thing cool down now that it's you know, it's still clamped and everything. So when I had it on the other turbo, it actually had a little bit of like a little warping issue on it, so you could see where it's black on both ends. And the reason it did that was because I welded it, but I didn't weld it with the wastegate on it, because that one there wasn't a whole lot of room in there. So we got this one welded with the wastegate on there, so it shouldn't have any issues like warping or anything. We'll just let those things kind of cool down together. I kind of cooled them down a little bit. It's all stainless, and it's like a really high quality stainless, so it's not like a cast. I mean, it is a cast stainless, but it's like it's a way better stainless, so I don't think we'll have any issues with it cracking or anything. Man, I'm just excited to get this thing on here. But again, got to figure out the wastegate placement and all that stuff too. But well, the wastegate placement's on it. I got to figure out the hood exit placement and do all that type of stuff tomorrow, which we're gonna catch up with you guys tomorrow in just 1 second. Alright, boys, so a little bit of a sad day for the Mustang. It's actually leaving my position today and leaving its home in Colorado, and it is on its way to Florida for Cletus McFarland's Burnout Challenge, which is the Burnout Rivals class, which is going to be live streamed on Saturday the 20th. So that's actually what I'm doing right now, is I basically just prepped the whole car. Didn't really actually do anything to it since we got back from Drift Week or whatever. But yeah, we're basically just going to send it out there. We're going to go out there, do some burnout, and have a little bit of fun with it. So kind of excited about that. So I got the whole thing loaded up with wheels and tires right now, with a little bit of tools. some spare parts and stuff like that. So it'll probably be staying in Florida for a little while, but it should be a lot of fun down there too. So just figured I'd give you guys a quick little update on that. I'm gonna go take it for a little drive down the street, make sure we have enough E85 in it. Maybe we can put some of this new in there and go from there. Alright, so the driver of the truck, as you guys seen, it was a big one that you could put like 10 or 11 cars, or I don't even know how many cars on it. But he basically said he would have had to take the car on and off 9 different times, and just trying to load it. I mean, the clutch in this thing is super sensitive. Like literally you have an inch between engaged and not engaged. And so it's not fun to drive at all as far as like a street car. Even Ty had a lot of trouble with it when we were driving it.
I think I killed it like twice in LA, but with the trailer.
Yeah,
but it's, I mean, it's hard, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but I mean, every single try just died. Killed it. Literally killed it 10 times trying to just even move it. And that wasn't even like pulling it up on the trailer, which was pretty steep. And then I ended up killing it, pulling it up on the trailer a little bit. And so, I don't know. He canceled the shipment. It's Friday. So I don't know if any other carrier or transporter can actually make it there in time or not. So I don't know if Mustang's going to be going down there. Making some decent progress on this thing. So got the turbo on here, got the turbine housing, got the O2 sensor, the down pipe or the up pipe, whatever you want to call it. I went ahead and I modified this little hole in the hood to fit this thing, and I had to take off this little hood exit thing right here for now because it was actually going to about right there. So I need to modify that or actually make a new one just to get that going actually out of the hood. I need to move some of these vacuum lines and stuff for the wastegate, and then obviously plumb the intercooler piping. So the other turbo was a 2.5 inch, and basically had a straight pipe just going right down here to this guy. 2.5 went around here, and then it went 2.5 to this, which is 3 inch. So gonna go ahead and take that off. I have a new, this is a 3 inch coupler right here with a 45. So we'll just kind of change that, get another little 90-degree thing to go around there, and hopefully connect this, and then we should have some solid intercooler piping. So 3 all the way around. This thing is going to be flowing a lot of air, a lot of volume of air. So having a nice 3 inch in and out will be, I think, a pretty good upgrade. So yeah, that's about it. That's the progress we've been making. It was man, it was a pain in the butt to get all this V-band stuff on, just because in order to get the exhaust in, you got to squeak this thing over here, and then in order to get the housing on, you got to squeak it over here. I do have the turbo drain hooked up right now, and you can see right here I have a little fitting right there that is 4N, and you can see my line comes up right here. So I have a little 90-degree thing at my house that Ty's gonna go run and grab in a little bit while I mess around with this intercooler stuff. So yeah, it is Friday. I've been working on this thing pretty much all week, trying to get this freaking turbo on here and there, working on some other stuff too. But yeah, it's definitely going a little bit slower than I thought. I thought we were just gonna freaking smash this thing on, and we were gonna, be giggling and laughing on like Wednesday night driving it around. But here it is, Friday night, and so the plan is still to take it to the track tomorrow. So I'm gonna keep moving on this. Also, we were having an issue where it wasn't really wanting to go into reverse, and we were looking at it, or Dave was looking at it while I was shifting it, and the OEM bushings are really soft. It's like a big rubber bushing. So I think it was just eating a lot of that slack, or it was just giving it a lot of slack, so it wasn't actually putting it in reverse. So I went ahead and upgraded those, and then I put the top plate to the scatter shield on too, and I need to finish bolting that on, but I figured while I'm modifying some of this stuff, I'll get under the car and do that. So yeah, lots of things, lots of pieces of the puzzle, but I think she's coming together. Man, it's been some hours, tell you what. So it's 11 at night. I went home, had some dinner, came back, and I've basically been messing with this thing, and made a intercooler piping. So 3-inch right here, you can see it goes down around all nice up here, 3-inch 45, and this is one piece all the way until right here, so there's only 2 couplers instead of 3 like before. So yeah, had to do a little pie cut down there, and man, something about the welder today was just mad. I don't know if it's just because we're getting like low on the argon or what it was doing, but man, it just didn't want to do the aluminum like starting off. I don't know, whenever I would like try to tack it, it would just like and just like blow a big old freaking hole. So that was a mess. I had to make a little dump tube right here. This actually welded out pretty good. So yeah, got all that wastegate and everything on. That's all plumbed. Everything is pretty much tight. What else? Yeah, intercooler piping, and that took me a long freaking time. And then I just basically got underneath the car, nut and bolted it, wiped a bunch of stuff down, modified some of the stuff in the hood, just to get the, you know, both of the little exhaust things kind of sticking out. They kind of match now. They're kind of both of the angle, and they both look like little fence posts. So, yeah, I guess it's now time to start this thing up and let you guys hear it. I already fired it up, basically before we made the intercooler piping, and it's freaking loud. So let me start this thing up for you. Oh man, that's 30 pounds of boost. Freaking, it just hits a little bit different on that big turbo. This thing is freaking screaming. It's definitely, we lost a lot of the bottom end as far as like, it seems like it doesn't even get into full boost until like almost 7,000 RPMs. Once we have it, you know, in it and we no lift shift, it's all right. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna have to set up a pretty hellacious two-step on this thing to actually get it up in the boost to get it off the line. I ain't gonna mess with it a whole lot tonight doing that stuff on the street, but I'll try it tomorrow at the track, and hopefully we could get her to freaking leave all right. Man, this thing it's freaking insane. The log shows 43 pounds, which if you take about 13 pounds of atmospheric out, that's right at 30 pounds of boost. We made the 890 at like 35 pounds of boost on the other turbo. And this is honestly, this is the fastest it's ever felt. And everything just goes by so freaking fast. It's really hard to tell. I did some low boost stuff at first, and then I came back and I kind of checked the logs and modified the fuel table a little bit for the high boost stuff. I modified it for the low boost and the high boost, kind of give it a little bit more fuel up top, where I think the other turbo was kind of not as efficient. And whew, man, it freaking rips. Holy crap, it is loud, like loud. But man, I don't know what else to do other than freaking load it in the trailer, take it to the track tomorrow, and see what we could do. I'm just freaking stoked to have this thing with this big old turbo on it. It just looks so freaking cool. Kind of looks lame with that thing on there, but we take that guy off. You look at it and you're like, man, that's a pretty cool looking freaking turbo. So yeah, again, huge shout out to Garrett. You know, they've been helping me out for a long time, and that's one freaking amazing turbo. So one thing, it smelled like oil, and I was like, man, I wonder why it smells like oil. But this little cap right here, the little valve cover thing, so I'm actually gonna run a zip tie around that so that it doesn't do that anymore. But man, what a freaking ripper! Holy crap! But man, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching this video and watching me, you know, spend 2 freaking days modifying that exhaust housing and everything. I'm gonna do this track day without a brace on everything, and then I'm gonna come back before we do race week and put a brace on it and try to really do a lot of heat management stuff around the turbo, just because I know driving it around like that isn't gonna be the most fun. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video at the track.